Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to my channel, to my bookland, and I'm here today for one of our coffee times, but I'm actually today here to spill some tea because I was stuck to do the Booktube Real Talk 2.0.
It's coffee time!
I was tagged by the lovely Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book. I'm gonna leave her channel link down below, as well as the channel from the original creator of the tag. I did do, if I'm not wrong, the first part of these tags, so the Booktube Real Talk 1, and this is part 2, so round 2, and it's only a bunch of questions, so I thought I would sit down here with you today and I will just give you my answers on the questions. So let's get to them. The first question is, if you could give yourself a piece of advice when you started making videos, what would it be? And this is a tough one. I started my Booktube channel, I believe, a little bit over a year ago, and I think I would just say to myself, just chill. Just don't stress out about it, don't be too nervous, and don't try to be perfect. You know, it's fine if you do mistakes. Also, obviously, because English is not my mother tongue, I was really scared at the beginning that nobody would like to watch my videos, or that I would be constantly making mistakes, which I do sometimes, and sometimes I realize I've made a mistake the moment the words come out of my mouth. But you know, I just feel like the more that I do videos, the better I get with putting my thoughts into words in English and describing the books a little bit better for you guys. I think it's kind of like a learning process. Also, at the beginning, I was very overwhelmed with the whole editing and all of these things. And like, again, it's learning by doing. So if anybody wants to start a Booktube channel, I just recommend you to take it one day at a time. If you don't know how to do something when it comes to editing, just Google it. We've all done it. We've all had these problems. And if you know somebody that's already a booktuber that already does videos, maybe you want to ask them if they know how to do it, if you use the same program maybe. So yeah, just don't stress too much, and you know, it's a learning process. Second question is a big one, and it is, what are your thoughts on cancel culture? Now, I'm not a fan of cancel culture, but I understand that sometimes it's necessary. I see a lot of drama sometimes on Twitter or Booktube, and I don't like to get myself into those kind of fights, but I did notice when the case happened with the Happy Booktuber, I think she was called, and she was really posting nasty stuff, you know, about how gay people, all the LGBT community, they needed to be, you know, healed because they were sick and all of that. And that really got me mad, that really got me upset. And I think somebody like that it's so harmful to so many people and to the community, should be canceled, because that is really homophobic and that should not be allowed. Then there's other things like, you know, I think sometimes people post things without thinking too much about it, and sometimes we maybe phrase things the way we don't intend to. And things, you need to remember that when you write stuff, things tend to come out harsher or different than when you talk to the person. So I always like to give a second chance to whoever said whatever was said, to explain themselves and, you know, to talk to them. And also, we're all human and we all make mistakes. We all say things we didn't mean that way, and we weren't aware that somebody, that, you know, that it was going to be hurtful for that person. So I think, you know, we can all grow from those things and learn as well, except in cases like homophobia, that is being portrayed like that by the Happy Booktuber, that was really harmful for the community. And it was one of the cases that really, I think it was deserved to be a cancelled channel. Question number 3 is, do you consider Booktube a welcoming community? And this is funny because when I wanted to open my own Booktube channel, everybody told me that the Booktubers are super welcoming and they support each other a lot. And I have to say that I have been feeling this from the very beginning. Even when I had like 4 subscribers, like people, you know, also on Twitter always interacted with me, supported me, and gave me book recommendations and tagged me, and I feel very welcome in the community. I do miss sometimes to have more people more on my age range, because I feel like we might be on another phase of our life that I can relate a little bit more to, because the Booktube community tends to be very young people or younger than me. And you know, I have been finding through this year some people more my age that read also similar books. I do read a lot of YA right now, but I don't know if I'm always gonna be reading YA. I'm just catching up with all the YA that I never read, but I am incorporating more adult and horror again in my life. But anyways, I do follow a lot of booktubers, and the ages go from very young to older booktubers, because I think I can learn things from any of them, and I love to have people that read completely different things than me and other people that read the same kind of things, because you can always get recommendations, and it's always nice to see people reviewing books that you don't know about. Yeah, so I do think that the community in general is very warm and welcoming and very supportive as well. Number 4 is, what are your thoughts on consumerism, and do you feel pressured to buy books? I don't feel pressured to buy books, but it is a fact that when you start a booktube channel, you're gonna buy every book you find, because you see so many people talking about books, recommending books, hauling books, making their wrap-ups, and you're like, oh, that sounds great, oh, that sounds great, oh, I also want to read that one. And you end up with a lot of books, and then you start to think about your purchases a little bit more. But I don't think that you need to buy books in order to have a booktube channel, to talk about books, to review books. It's totally fine if you just get library books, if you just borrow books from friends. I don't know, if you get like free ebooks, audiobooks, whatever it is, if you only get free ebooks from NetGalley, whatever rows your boat, as long as you talk about books, I'm interested. And I don't think people need to buy books in order to have a channel or have an opinion, but I also think that the people that do decide to spend money on books, or people that are, you know, very lucky that get a lot of ARCs sent by publishers, or that get a lot of books gifted to them, I don't think it's fair to trash them because of that, because it's their money. So, you know, you do you, boo, and I do me, and you know, everybody should do with their money whatever they want. So if what you want to do is buy a ton shit of books, then do that, you know. And I don't think we should criticize somebody that buys a lot of books, or somebody that makes library hauls. Like, who cares? Number 5, do you consider yourself a critical reader/reviewer? I don't make many deep, detailed reviews most of the time, because I like to make my reviews in a way that I'm not gonna spoil the book for anybody. So in my wrap-ups, or when I review a book for NetGalley or for Goodreads, I try to avoid spoilers and just keep it a little bit more generic, but giving my personal opinion. So I do think that I'm a very honest person. A lot of people tell me in real life that I have no filter, but I've always been somebody that I rather somebody say things to me to my face the way that they are than sugarcoating things for me. So I try to be honest about my thoughts on the books or the movies that I watch and review, but always keeping in mind that you need to be respectful as well. Number 6 is, do you take part in readathons, and what are your thoughts on them? So when I started my booktube channel last year, I think it was June 2018, I don't think I participated really in any readathon that year, because I was very new to the game. But this year, one of my goals was to participate in more readathons, which I have been doing. In fact, I am currently participating in the Monsterathon. Go Hunts, go team, and I'm really enjoying it, because I mean, readathons can be bad in the sense that you put a lot of pressure on yourself sometimes, or you might go into a reading slump because you are forcing yourself to read certain books. But on the other hand, what I find fascinating about these readathons is that due to the challenges and everything, I find myself picking up books from my shelves or ordering books that I might have never gotten for myself and then enjoying them. So it's a way of discovering books that you might like, or getting rid of books that you had on your shelves that you don't enjoy, and they kind of really motivate me in my case, in my personal case, to read more, and they don't put me on a reading slump. So I do enjoy them a lot. I wish I could do more, but sometimes I just don't have the free time for that. So I really love the Buzzword Readathon. Is one of my favorite ones because I think it's a lot of fun. It's hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, and I'm really enjoying the Monsterathon because it's more kind of horror, spooky, thriller books. So yeah, I do love readathons. Number 7 is to recommend a book with a topic or something that you're very passionate about. So in this case, I would like to recommend you any book that Stephen King has ever written because I love it. One of my favorite books from Stephen King are Needful Things and Desperation. So those are two that I've always loved a lot. But another thing that came to my mind when I read this was Pan's Labyrinth, because I got this year, and the story of this movie is fascinating and amazing. This book is stunning, and if you've not watched the movie, you should. It's very hard. It's heartbreaking, but it's also magical, and it's one of my favorite stories of all time. So if you have not watched the movie or picked up the book, I would recommend you both. And also the illustrations in this book are stunning. Alright you guys, so this was the Booktube Real Talk 2.0. I'm gonna leave a couple of people tagged down below, and I will let you know in Twitter as well that you've been tagged once I upload this video. I hope that you enjoyed the answer to my questions. Let me know down below your thoughts on the questions as well. What would your answers be to these questions? If you want to do the tag and I didn't tag you, please feel free to do it. I'm gonna leave the list of all the questions down below so that you can check them out. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate your support. Please give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and remember to click on the notification bell so you're notified every time that I upload a coffee time. And also, if you want to follow me, I do have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The links to the social media can be found in the description box down below. And I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!